What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're doing well. And of course, I hope you're ready for another week. So today we're going to go over the weekly Forex outcome reviews, see what's happening in the markets and see if there's any opportunities we could be looking out for the week ahead. It's been a very mixed week with the dollar. We have seen a lot of JPY strength. Swiss franc is also showing a lot of signs of strength. So it will be very interesting to see if we continue with that moving into this week. Now, I just want to say something before we move on, guys. I posted my previous YouTube video a couple of days ago in terms of the views. Not too shabby. I'm not focused on that. What I am focused on, though, and I just want to highlight, is a lot of traders are in this industry and unfortunately will never become consistent or profitable. That's just the harsh truth. And when I look at the videos that I post versus the video that I posted a couple of days ago, the views are dramatically different. Now, granted, I have been away, so I guess I have lost some followers or some interest, which is understandable. Take full responsibility of that. But what I will say is that if I'm supposed to, or if I was supposed, what am I saying? If I was to post a YouTube video to do with technical analysis, entry techniques, sniper entries, those videos get 50, 60, 80,000, 100,000 views. When I post something to do with mindset, perspective, the real journey a trader has to go down, the views dramatically drop to like 10, 15, 20,000. That's fine. I'm not bothered about that. What I am saying, though, is if the majority of traders that are in this industry fail to become consistent and profitable, but yet the majority of traders are constantly rushing to watch technical analysis videos or sniper entry videos or entry technique videos, and that's where the views are at, but fail to focus or even show an interest in the mindset side of things or the emotional aspect side of things or the truth about why your behaviors or the reasons you're getting the results you're getting based on your behaviors are what they are, then it just goes to show that unfortunately your focus is elsewhere and we need to sort this out. Because I'll be real with you, technical analysis, your technical ability is not going to make you a consistent and profitable trader unless you acquire the characteristics and the attributes that a trader needs to possess in order to be able to get through, let's say, the hard times, the times where you're feeling emotional, the times where you go through drawdown. Then unfortunately, guys and ladies, you are not going to make money. Short term you can, long term you won't. So I just want to put it out there. If you're not watching these videos, this is not about views for me. But if you're not watching these videos, then I would urge you to really think about it, because these are the videos that are going to help you to understand who you are as a person, what it is that you're doing maybe that needs tweaking in order to get positive results or to change around a bad habit that you may have found yourself stuck with. Take some time to think about it, guys. Seriously, if I wanted views, and I wanted you back to the channel every single time I posted a video, we'll put some technical analysis in there. We'll show some different variations of different time frames and we can make it work. But that's not what this channel is about. That's not what I'm about to do. That's not what I believe in. So I'm just saying to you guys, think about that. If the majority of traders are not making money, but yet the majority of traders are watching technical analysis videos and not focusing on learning to master themselves, then there's a problem. And that kind of will give you the answer or highlight why so many traders are failing, because they are not willing to focus on mastering themselves or at least understanding themselves. Anyway, enough of that. What we're going to be doing, guys, is I'm going to be more active, thinking about streaming more often, answering your questions, going through some charts, taking a look at your trades. I think that'll be fun. I don't want to keep banging out technical analysis videos. I've come a long way with my trading, with my mentoring, providing content, and I don't want to add to the problem by making you think that there's going to be some secret source out there that's going to change it around. So if you guys want me to stream on YouTube on a regular basis, you're going to come forward with questions, share your charts, whatever it may be, we'll talk about a topic, then let me know and I'll get that I'll get that. No, I won't get that. I'll make sure that happens. Okay. And yeah, I'll put a little comment down below. So let's take a look at the 10 pairs today. It's these pairs here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool. So the first pair that we're going to take a look at is Aussie dollar USD. What's my opinion on Aussie dollar USD? I feel the structure of this market is overextended. I feel like there is a slowdown in this movement to the upside. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that I think it's going to reverse, but what I'm identifying is this area here, which I would just classify simply as a range. We can see since last week, prices continue to try and push higher and higher and higher. We peaked and made a new high here, as you can see, around 69.78, but we're just not sustaining this upward pressure. Now, I'm not going to call a reversal, but what I will say is that we do need to be mindful that the dollar is showing signs of strength, meaning, or that could be the reason why Aussie dollar USD is failing to continue to push higher. And what I'm going to want to be seeing next week, I believe this will go down, but believing and seeing is two different things, or actually happening is two different things. So let's just make sure that we have our options open here. If we get a break of the high, and I mean a convincing break, a nice break close above, and we start to respect the previous structures, then we can anticipate this continuation to the upside. If the dollar starts to, or not starts, continues to show its strength, pushing to the upside, then what I'm going to be looking for price to do is take out the structural low, come back again to respect the previous structures, and then see if we can have this movement to the downside. Not every day is a trading day. So just because you think the price is going to go higher, the price is going to go lower, in situations like this, when you have dollar strength kicking in, you have price failing to break structural highs or make new higher highs. I know it has made new higher highs, but I mean very clear higher highs, sustainable higher highs. And then you see this consolidation, you have to be like, we need something convincing, and something convincing would include price breaking a major structural high or low, staying below that level for a period of time, a day at least. Well, not necessarily a day, but that would be good. And then see price come back to previous structure to respect it. And then you can start to work on scaling down techniques to find those continuations, whichever direction it breaks out of. So my views are Aussie dollar USD down, but I will still take the place to the upside if they develop. I will monitor what USD is doing in terms of its strength and see if we get some weakness from its Aussie dollar as well. So that's the analysis on Aussie dollar USD. Now on USD CAD, my opinion is up, and again, I tell you why. This really correlates and lines up nicely with what we're seeing on Aussie dollar USD. We have this weakness in the dollar for, let's say, the last 2 weeks. And then all of last week, look, we've had price failing to break the structural lows. So this, again, is really nice confluence with our analysis on Aussie dollar USD, anticipating that USD strength, meaning that we want to see price continue to push to the upside. We've broken above this high for the first time in a long time. And my thoughts are that if we can continue this movement to the upside and sustain this break and hold above these levels, I'm not worried about the market opening, gapping down. I'll be looking for on a Monday New York session to see this high sustaining this break. And if we can maintain that structural break above the high around 29.08, then I'm going to be looking for my patterns and my processes to look for a movement to the upside. This is a failure to break the low, which is a depletion in this bearish sentiment. We can see that on Aussie dollar USD failing to break higher. Then we have this break above this structure where we've rejected 3 times already, and we sustain that break. And we also see dollar strength kicking in. So that is my analysis on USD CAD. And it'll be really interesting to see what is in store for us next week with this dollar strength. Next pair that we'll take a look at is Euro JPY. Now, it is very convincing to see last week that the yen was very strong. We have the similar structure that we've seen on Aussie dollar USD and USD CAD price pushing to the upside. We have really nice trend where price now is failing to make new highs. We have a breakout and a break back in. This is showing signs of yen strength. And then once we start to take out these structural lows here, we now start to invalidate this uptrend, and we're now starting to look for the sells on Euro Yen. So I'm looking for a pullback to around 139.86 to a key level to look for that retest, and that potential continuation to the downside. I'm cool for price to come back to 140.60 as well for a deep pullback double top sort of formation. And if we don't pull back to any of these levels, then I'll be monitoring where price is sitting at now. And if we have this break of the structural low, then I'll be looking for this break and retest back to the next key level, which would look something like this. So my opinion is yen strength. The market sentiment's clearly highlighting that. And I don't think that it's wise to look for anything else as of yet until price starts to take out some of these major highs and we start seeing that shift to the upside. Now, I just want to say before I move on, everything that I'm telling you now is of my own opinion. This is not financial advice. Neither do I expect every single one of these analyses to be correct. And what I would advise you to do is on a daily basis, when you come to your charts, clear them, analyze the market again, understand the sentiment, and then make a plan of action, how you're going to trade that pair or pairs you're trading. What I'm doing now is just giving you my overview of what I believe could happen next week. That does not necessarily mean it's going to happen. Okay. So the next pair we'll take a look at is going to be Euro USD. Should have cleared my charts really, but there you go. Now, I don't have opinion on Euro USD. Again, we had Euro strength, a failure to make new highs, and then we have dollar maintaining this structure at 0.250, meaning that the dollar is showing signs of strength. Again, it looks very similar to Aussie dollar USD. If we're anticipating USD to continue to be weak and see these uptrends continue, then we're going to break these highs, we're going to maintain these breaks, and we're going to continue higher. So that is also an option. We just can't rule it out. But what I'm seeing, again, with the sentiment in the market, I do believe that there is a high chance that the dollar strength will kick in, and we should see a movement to the downside. Let's see what happens. I'm not going to say too much more on this one. If we get a break of 0.126, we get out of this mess, this consolidation. We can look for those continuations to the downside if we break the low. And if we don't, then we're going to look for that continuation to the upside based on the structures we're seeing on Aussie dollar USD, USD CAD, and now Euro USD. It is a patient game. It's a waiting game. We have to be patient. And only until the markets confirm its directional bias can we then be sure which direction we should be taking these trades. The next pair that we'll take a look at is pound JPY, just adding confluence here to Euro Yen. We can see the structure of the market was pushing to the upside, beautiful trend. Now we're failing to make these new highs. We're breaking these previous structural lows. Once we take out a higher low in this formation and also the consolidation here, and we come back to retest the previous structure, we anticipate a very clear directional bias, which is to the downside. And that is exactly what has happened. So I'd like to see price pull back to a previous area of resistance or a key level in this instance. If we respect that, then we call this double top continuation. And if we don't, then we can be looking for areas around the 50% retracement mark, which is going to be this area here, in anticipation for price to come back down to these structural lows by the end of the week. This is showing signs of yen strength. So let's see if that continues to play out next week. Again, there's no reason for us to change our directional bias once the market is clearly identifying or highlighting to us that it is bearish. The next pair that we'll take a look at is USD JPY. Again, just adding confluence to Euro Yen and pound JPY. You can see the overall structure of the market has been pushing bearish. We had a really messy structure here where price was consolidating. It just looks like a little snakes and ladders here, doesn't it, really? Once we broke this previous structural low, which was the current high of this formation, and we broke close below it, you see we had a nice deep pullback into this area. It is just an area, guys, not a key level. Nice bearish close in anticipation for continuation. And I think with the structure here, again, what I'm going to be looking for is for price to come back to around a 50% range of this leg. Wait for that retest and that continuation in anticipation of that yen strength. Now, this is clearly highlighting to us that USD is not as strong as we think it is, and or yen is super strong, because if we're anticipating USD to push the upside or downside based on dollar strength, then we should start to see a consolidation here. Yen has clearly come through as the strongest currency last week, and I think we should respect that. And I think as it's clearly highlighting to us that yen is strong, it might be a lot easier to trade than some of the other pairs. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Next pair we'll take a look at is USD Swiss franc. Now, I did mention at the start of this video that Swiss franc was showing a lot of signs of strength. This doesn't really add any value to our analysis when it comes to USD strength, but neither does USD JPY either. So we have to respect the fact that the Swiss franc is strong, and until the market structure starts to take out some of these highs, highlighting to us that the market is now reversing, we are going to be looking for some continuations to the downside. Now, if I'm brutally honest with you guys, I'm not interested in USD Swiss franc. For those that are, it's a no-brainer you're looking for sells at this point in time. But in terms of working with it and structure, key levels, pullbacks, deep pullbacks, I mean, I'm just not feeling it. Just not feeling it. Swiss franc is not my thing. New Zealand dollar is not my thing either. And some of those other wild pairs that you guys trade are not my thing. I prefer to stick to like pound JPY, gold, pound USD, mainly those. I like it, more volume, a lot more players in the market. Don't get me wrong, USD Swiss franc, when it moves, it moves. New Zealand dollar USD, when it moves, it moves. Aussie dollar pairs, when they move, they move. But I just prefer pairs with bigger ranges and more volatile. Anyway, so that's my analysis on USD Swiss franc. Next pair we'll take a look at is New Zealand dollar USD. I mean, this just highlights why I don't like trading it. But what I will do with this is I will use this as a gauge to continue to add value to this USD strength. You can see we've had this uptrend for a period of time. Last week, we had a real slowdown in this movement to the upside. There's a depletion in that bullish sentiment, failure to close above the previous high. And that is showing obviously signs of USD strength. So for me, again, I'm not ruling out that it can't continue bullish, but I want to see something convincing, close above. If we don't get that, then I'm going to stick to my thoughts about USD strengthening when looking for these breaks, retests, and continuations to the downside. So that's my analysis on New Zealand dollar USD. Now, my analysis on pound USD is also the same. I would like to see that weakness in the pound based on pound JPY pushing to the downside, but it doesn't really add any value to the analysis because we can see across the sentiment of the market that yen is very strong. USD again is holding this market at this level at 2032. And if it cannot continue to break and close above and maintain that sustainable structure above this high, then again, I'm just going to continue to work for my analysis and continue my belief that dollar is going to strengthen. Simple analysis, nothing much to talk about until we see some formations forming or structures forming to highlight the directional bias. Final pair we'll take a look at. Oh, I just realized we don't have gold here. We're going to have to put gold into the picture. So it's going to be 11 pairs this week. So one pair sneaked in here somehow. Anyway, New Zealand dollar USD. New Zealand dollar yen. We're going to be looking at continuation sells. Really nice structures to the upside. Really bullish. You can see here we've just broken below this level where it held for a long period of time. And we can simply just anticipate a nice pullback and a continuation. Based on yen strength, nothing at the moment is telling us otherwise. So we'll look for that continuation back to the downside. We're currently sitting at a level in the market where price is reacting to. Not too concerned about that. Just check your ranges from the high to the low. If we don't get that deep pullback into 85.69, then we're just going to be looking for that simple break and retest continuation to the downside on the break of 84.96. Final one we'll look at is gold. And oh boy, do I even want to do gold? I mean, look, to be honest with you, we have had some nice movement to the downside. If you're a swing trader, you find your pin bars, you find your engulfing candles, you slap the trade on, you look for price to continue bearish with a super safe stop loss, and then you just hold this for about a week, if that's what you want to do. I mean, it's clear the market is going bearish. You can see from the previous structures here, is super bearish. I think this news inflicted move could correct. We've had really sharp movement here. Correct to where? I don't know. I'm just going to talk way too much now, but just be careful of this structure high and be careful of this structure low. It does look very rangy. You can look for some maybe Asian high sells. You can maybe look for some Asian high breaks. And yeah, Rox is just about to confuse the whole of YouTube by talking way too much about gold. That looks absolutely trash. So on that note, I'm going to wrap it up. That's my analysis on the market. What am I thinking? USD strength maybe kicking in. Yen strength, definitely apparent. Swiss franc strength, definitely there as well. Prefer to stay away from it. I'd like to see USD strengthen, see some of those USD CAD, Euro USD, Pound USD pairs move in the direction favor towards USD strength. I think it might be a day or two before we see that, if it's going to be the case. But if not, we're not going to discount the trends are still in play until they reverse. So let's respect that also. I think it's going to be a very patient week. It is July, lots of holidays. And yeah, that is it. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the weekly Forex outlook and reviews. Just want to wish every single one of you a fantastic week. If you like the video or the content, please hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new, turn on notifications, and please make sure you comment below. Let me know what you think about me live streaming. If there's something you want me to do, I think it'll be fun. I'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it. Be able to answer a lot more questions, and let's see what kind of community we can build doing that. Other than that, guys, have a great Sunday. Have a great week, and I'll catch you back here in a day or two. Bye for now. No, not bye for now. Continue to trust the process.